Carlos Hamilton here with my executive presentation. So, um, we started off with the new and improved vision and mission statement. Um, a vision statement answers the question, what do we want to become? Also providing the foundation to create a company's mission statement per the David text. A quality mission statement is going to have a broad explanation of the strategies that a company will employ to achieve their vision, attract to a diverse group of stakeholders. PepsiCo's mission and vision statement were rewritten, but first we needed to evaluate the company. The first thing evaluated was PepsiCo's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, or the SWOT analysis. This uh, allowed us to get a good understanding of PepsiCo's current situation. This allowed us to see that PepsiCo, though outperforming most of their competitors, was still had areas where they needed some improvement. On the most significant weaknesses is that PepsiCo's brand is viewed as generally unhealthy. Uh, though most that partake in PepsiCo's products, such as maybe Lay's chips or the actual Pepsi soda and things like that, understand that they aren't making the healthiest choice. But there's an entire market that PepsiCo is not getting much revenue from. There's a big opportunity there. So the goal is to change that perception of the brand of being, you see, Pepsi unhealthy to yes, Pepsi has convenient snacks, but they also have healthy alternatives. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, so SWOT and BCG matrices were used during the evaluation. There were several used. These two I'll talk about first in particular. So the SWOT matrix that uses the company's identified strengths, weaknesses, uh, opportunities, and threats. Uh, and they use them with the strengths and weaknesses versus the opportunities and threats. Uh, for this one in particular, what stood out after completing the SWOT analysis for me was the SO strength opportunity uh, part of that analysis of that matrix rather. Um, the SO further evaluated that we should pursue a health food brand. Strengths of PepsiCo include the size and their marketing budget. Uh, that, along with the opportunity that persists within the health food market, made like a it makes a it makes a strong case that that is something a strategy that should be pursued. Pep, along with that, the BCG matrix we used. This showed that we should divest in uh, underperforming. What is going on? Divest in things that aren't making us money. For that would be Quaker. Right, move on to uh, furthering my investigation. Two of the matrices were instrumental in ensuring that we were making sound decisions of the aforementioned recommendations. The matrices we used were the Grand and the QSPM matrix. The Grand matrix is based on two uh, evaluations of two dimensions of the company's competitive position on the X axis and the market and industry growth on the Y axis per the David text. Uh, Quadrant 3 of that matrix is going to be where there's weak competitive position and slow market growth. This emphasized that we should divest uh, from the Quaker brand. On the health food side of things, the QSPM was used after I've already decided that we should go with uh, pursuing a health food brand, but the question was, do we grow our own brand organically, or do we acquire an existing brand? So the QSPM revealed that we should indeed acquire another brand. Some of the advantages that come with acquisition are, uh, a already existing customer base that makes you immediately competitive. Brings you the technology that they already have, the intellectual property, and there's already a revenue stream and a customer base. So that in itself is telling us that we should go that direction. Also, we eliminate a lot of the inherent waste that comes with developing a new product and all of the costs associated with that. We can bypass that, go into the already proven product, which will bring revenues quicker, along with the marketing budget and the already brand recognition that is PepsiCo. Uh, if the any health food brand that is already making some traction will definitely get elevated just being under the PepsiCo window. Some of the leadership challenges that are going to come with this: divesting from Quaker is going to uh, present some challenges that require strong leadership to make these difficult decisions. The path of least resistance would be if we were able to simply find someone that would purchase the Quaker brand. More times than not, when it's purchased, the purchasing company retains the employees, most of the employees, retains most of the equipment and processes, and then fits it into their scope. Basically, what we are trying to do with a health food brand. If for some reason that is not doable, to find someone that will purchase the brand, and we decide to just totally divest, you're looking at layoffs. You have to find space for people that weren't uh, space for people that may have transferable skills. Other than that, you'll have to lay off all of the staff that is under the umbrella of the brand, for this example, Quaker. There's also all of the equipment that's already been purchased. There's also the facilities that already exist. There are the existing inventories. There are the raw materials. Yes, you could run production until you use up your raw materials and continue sales until the existing inventories are gone. Or there's also the opportunity to try to sell those or raw materials and or reuse, or excuse me, repurpose those raw materials. The equipment can be liquidated if not repurposed within the company or with the new brand itself. Same thing with the facilities. The existing Quaker facilities could be used for a health food brand. Other challenges that are going to come upon leadership is with the acquisition of a health food brand. First, you have to find somebody that is selling their brand, that's willing to sell their brand. Usually, you're going to go find a smaller company that's probably doing numbers regionally, that doesn't have the capital or the push to take that next step to get to where PepsiCo already is. Another side of that is the expertise of the leadership. Is this leadership, does it have experience with acquisitions? Does it have experience starting a new brand from scratch or elevating from scratch? Or is this leadership team more of a big business type that have are used to pushing existing brands that already have traction? If it is the former, not the if it's the latter, not the former, then you have to make strategic hires. Hire someone that is well versed in acquisitions. Sure, you more than likely use some investment firm that will facilitate that deal, of a financial institution that would do that, and investment banks where the brands may put themselves up for sale, but you still need someone on your staff that is well versed to be able to go in and conduct those meetings. Also, of mention is PepsiCo's contribution to the greater good. There are a few things PepsiCo is doing. PepsiCo is participating in the Holy Grail initiative that is driving uh, recycling in Europe. What this will do is put a code on the bottles that send it to recycling. Also, PepsiCo has joined the UN's business ambition for 1.5 degrees Celsius pledge. This is for their Modesto, California facility. So, this pledge is that to achieve net zero emissions by the year 2050, and PepsiCo is on their way towards that. In conclusion, uh, this executive summary is to highlight PepsiCo's uh, PepsiCo's contribution to society. We should divest from Quaker and use those resources in more profitable parts of the company. And PepsiCo should acquire a health food brand that can be used to uh, penetrate that market from someone that's already in it and showing some success, and using PepsiCo's weight to push that brand into another $1 million revenue stream. Thank you for your time.